I'll actually be right back. I need a drink.
Sounds good. It is League Monthly March version, League Monthly 2012, the March edition. Semifinals getting ready to get started here between Just the Usual and C2, the Virgin, and Friends. We've got Just the Usual off on the left-hand side for the blue team, and we've got for C2 over on the right-hand side. They're going to be on the purple team. We see a Shen and Urgot ban, which have been the first two bans for Just the Usual so far this entire tournament, so I'm not surprised we've seen both of those. And then we see the Alistar ban, which isn't surprising from C2. Alistar played a strong Chris, who plays the jungle for Team Just the Usual, plays a strong jungle Alistar, and you don't want him doing that again because Alistar out of the jungle, very strong right now. And we see a quick Lee Sin ban as well, and I'm not too surprised by that.
Yeah, Lee Sin is a strong ban just because he's such a strong first pick. Hard to counter him. There really is no hard counter to Lee Sin. Alistar, of course, you know, at this point, Just the Usual is so famous for their jungle Alistar that they're never going to get to play it again. Poor guys.
Yeah, after that first game, I don't think we'll see an Alistar available for them for a while, so I'm not too surprised to see that first ban. And we're waiting on one more ban. I wouldn't be surprised if we see another jungle ban, really trying to ban out Chris, who last game played Nocturne, but normally plays Udyr. Do we have another ban? Irelia.
Yeah. That doesn't surprise me. I really don't think that it was so much Aurelia doing well as much as Alistar coming in for those strong gangs, but Aurelia definitely looked scary.
Oh, absolutely. Irelia, and you know what? Pawn Gypsy plays a very strong Irelia. Pawn Gypsy, actually, the first game in this tournament went 7-1 and however many assists, so I'm not surprised by that at all. And another thing I'm not surprised by is the first pick Janna, which has been so far every game we've seen this tournament.
Yeah, everyone is convinced that Janna is the best thing since sliced bread. Look at this, Soraka. Oh yes, I love Soraka. I love Soraka with a fiery passion. Yeah,
and Soraka, we've really seen a transition from the sustain support to the aggressive support. The support that is able to maybe negate a little bit of damage, but at the same time can lay down some CC and allow for ganks to really happen, or maybe counter some ganks that are coming in. So I'm a little bit surprised to see the Soraka pick, but Soraka's strong. That sustain is very strong.
I'm not really surprised at all. Soraka's silence can shut down Janna for 3 seconds once you hit level 5. And that is massive. I mean, Janna, who is all about her CC, is not going to be able to do anything for 3 seconds. That's big. And if they pick someone like Graves, someone that can burst down really hard, I would not be surprised if we saw a Graves pick coming up here.
Yeah, Graves Soraka, very strong. Although I will say, you don't see Soraka maxing out her silence first. And so while it's a strong silence, you don't really see it make an impact until late games. But like you said, that is a very strong silence. And we do see the Udyr pick. We were talking about this last game. Chris plays a super strong Udyr, and we will get to see it this game.
That udder. Yeah, I'm gonna be excited to see that. Udyr, of course, a good, strong early pick, can go top lane and jungle, so they can switch it up if they need to. But I wouldn't be surprised to see Udyr in the jungle. Udyr, very strong, very really able to counter jungle hard because his dueling capability is ridiculous.
Oh, absolutely. I'm kind of hoping. I would love to see another Nautilus pick come out of come out of Pawn Gypsy. I doubt we're going to see another one, but man, last game seeing Nautilus get picked was super exciting, and I'm kind of wondering what the consensus might be here.
So look at this. We're looking at a decently late game composition for C2. Tristana, of course, being one of the late game masters. Cassiopeia, her damage never falls off really because it's so sustained. It looks like it's going to be a late game comp versus an early game composition. There we go. Let's see. We'll see if he grabs Gragas.
Wow, Renekton. That is strong. I do like the Gragas pick over Cassiopeia. Gragas has some good range. Despite being a melee champion, his barrels do have a lot of range, and so he's able to kind of keep himself a little bit out of harm's way when it comes to Cassiopeia, forcing her to come in and allowing him to really have an easier chance at landing his barrel. So I do like that pick. I think that's a strong pick against the Cassiopeia. I probably would have liked to see like a Galio. I think Galio just destroys Cassiopeia in lane, but Gragas is also a strong pick mid, so I think that's a strong pick. Renekton, if he's going against Warwick, I'm not sure how I feel about that.
Yeah, I think they're both going to do pretty well. Renekton, if he's the one that initiates a trade, he's probably going to win it because he's going to be able to throw out his stun and then just sort of dice away. No, slice in, use his double hit or triple hit if he has enough rage, stun them, dice out. Ooh, Nidalee. If Nidalee is locked in, that's going to be a Renekton versus Nidalee top.
And I think Nidalee, again, I think Nidalee is probably going to come out the better end of that just because she is a ranged champion up until level 6, and even when she hits level 6, the amount of mobility she has against Renekton is pretty strong. However, Renekton does have that dash, and that dash into a stun, it does a lot of damage. I know I keep saying that damage, that D word, the damage. Able to take out a lot of chunks off the health bar. So I feel like Renekton is a strong pick. Renekton is a very strong top champion. He's picked pretty easily. You're able to pick over him pretty easily.
Yeah, he usually is a counter pick, but apparently Pawn Gypsy is really confident in himself.
Well, and Pawn Gypsy has been very consistent so far this game, so I'm not gonna doubt Pawn Gypsy. Obviously, he's been very strong so far this tournament, so we'll have to see. And yeah, you're right. Warwick is the one obviously jungling. I don't understand the Warwick jungle pick. I like Warwick jungle. I think he's a strong jungler, probably one of my favorites. I still don't think that he matches up to the likes of people like Udyr and Lee Sin and Alistar even, because he's just so... You need time. You need a lot of time to get him to level 6, and I don't think there's just enough time. I think the meta, if I can say it, has shifted to a very early game fights. Early game fights win games, and Warwick doesn't provide much for that early game.
Just the usual is playing off of that fact that they win the lane, they win the game. We saw last time that wasn't the case at all. It was really better teamwork and team fights that did it, but just the usual is completely shifted over. Renekton is infamously an early game champion, early game dominance.
Right.
And I think he is going to be able to do really well against Nidalee, because he's going to be... any harass that Nidalee is going to try to do is going to be countered by that Q. He can lifesteal so much off of a full minion wave. I really don't like C2's lack of a strong early ganker, because Tristana, more late game, does have early game power. I can see Tristana jumping on Ashe a couple of times, really trying to throw out that aggression. I think that Tristana is going to win that lane though, because she's going to have Soraka to sustain her. She's going to be able to jump on Ashe whenever she wants to. Ashe is not going to be able to do much, because she only does well if the enemy stays at a distance. And Tristana can get up right in your face. That burst from Rocket Jump does damage unto itself, but it's also going to be that sustain that she has. And Ashe, of course, doesn't have any attack speed steroid like Tristana does. She's going to be doing way more than Ashe is going to be able to. And of course, from those engagements, even if they do end up harassing and hitting Tristana more from those trades, Soraka is going to be able to heal it right back. So I really like that Soraka Tristana bot lane. However, I definitely have to give the jungle to just the usual. Those ganks from Udyr are going to be massive early on. And C2 does not have a clairvoyance. They're not going to be able to see those ganks coming unless they ward really, really early. So, as for Gragas and Cassiopeia, Cassiopeia definitely scales harder, just because she has one of the highest damage outputs in the game. She and Master Yi have... I think those two are actually the highest damage outputs overall.
Who's that now?
Cassiopeia and Master Yi.
Cassiopeia is able to do a lot of damage. I don't know if necessarily she has the highest amount.
Who is it then?
I'm not sure. I'm gonna disagree with you when it comes to that bottom lane. Ashe Janna is a very strong lane. It has a lot of CC, a lot of kiting potential, and Tristana, while she has her rocket jump and it is kind of a flash, that rocket flash, you can still hit her while she's in the air. So she's still going to be slowed, still going to be kited, even though she does the rocket jump. I'm going to disagree with you, and I'm going to say that Ashe Janna lane is going to do work against Tristana and Soraka.
Well, I guess we shall see. I stick by what I said.
You're the support player, man. I'll give it to you.
So I think what this is really going to depend on is if look at that Warwick skin. Haven't seen that in a while.
That's classic. That's Grey Warwick, isn't it? Grey.
Yeah, it is.
Warwick.
That's beta, old recolor. I think this game is really going to hinge on whether Chris can get those early ganks off. Because if C2 can carry this into late game, they have the better late game team. Flat out. They're going to completely dominate. However, Just the Usual plays such a strong early game.
They play a strong early game, but also on top of that, Fourth Oracle, is they also play a very, very smart mid to late game. They're so smart in their positioning, and they have two champions that positioning. They dictate position. Gragas with his ultimate and Janna with her ultimate, they can dictate positioning, and that's going to be strong when it comes to the late game.
I agree. So I think it will end up on Just the Usual working out the positioning to how they want it once it comes to mid and late game, because if C2 is able to get positioning just how they like it, they're going to melt Just the Usual. Look at this lineup.
Oh, absolutely.
This is ridiculous. But Just the Usual may have a little bit more team synergy, being, like you said, Gragas ultimate and Janna ultimate, positioning everyone however they like. Ashe has a really strong and long-range engagement at that. So I think what we're going to be looking for is those strong Ashe arrows to start a fight. Gragas throwing out his ultimate to scatter them. And of course Janna to keep her team safe if they do get an engage on her. So that's a lot of defense. If Just the Usual gets engaged on poorly, they're going to be able to turn that around.
Well, we shall see. So here it is. It is the semifinals of League Monthly, the March edition. It's Team Just the Usual, who is on the blue team right now, against Team C2 the Virgin and Friends. We'll just be referring to Team C2. Don't forget, you can check out all the video on demands on my YouTube channel. You'll be able to check out this one and all the ones from today over at youtube.com/oneregards. Assuming everything went well, I'm kind of doing a new process of recording, so we'll see how that goes, but you can check them all out there. And we see the teams both making their way into the jungle. Possibly a quick red take for Udyr. That would be kind of interesting.
That wouldn't surprise me at all. Like I was saying, they really need to get those early ganks off strong. So if he can get that red buff early and start ganking really early, if he gets an early kill, that could mean the difference between winning mid and late game and losing mid and late game.
We see both teams really protecting their jungle. It looks like Udyr is coming back around. He is going to start with a blue start, I have to imagine. Hasn't decided whether he's going Tiger or Phoenix. Probably waiting whether or not to see if he wants to go Phoenix or Bear for that flash. But I have to imagine we're just going to see kind of a normal start. Yes, this is the semifinals, by the way. I was wrong in saying the semifinals were coming up tomorrow. The semifinals are right now, and it looks like Udyr will indeed start at his Wolves and also grab blue, and it looks like Warwick is going to do something similar. That's kind of a cool looking Warwick skin, man. I've never seen that actually in game.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty neat. So this is a best of 3, correct?
Absolutely. This will be a best of 3 that's going on here.
Alright, good to know. Just wanted to make sure that was clear. Looks like Udyr is going for an early blue buff. I wouldn't be surprised if he just ran down to Raves, picked that up, went to red, and then went to gank either bot lane or mid lane. I would guess mid lane because Tristana is going to be really safe with that rocket jump. She did take it at level 1.
Udyr did grab a level 2 bear stance, which is really surprising. Normally you see him grab a really quick turtle. Instead it looks like he's going to he is going to disregard his wraiths altogether and go straight for red. He did not use his smite on the blue. So I wonder if he's a little bit worried about the Warwick steal. I'm not entirely sure. He is going to quickly grab the red buff and make his way back up towards the wraiths. He does grab a quick level 3, and for that level 3 he grabs Phoenix at level 2, and he is going to go. It looks like he wants that Cassiopeia, but the lane is pretty far pushed. I don't know if that's necessarily a good idea.
No, it looks like he's going to shift bot. He's out for blood, and he doesn't care where he gets it.
And Soraka right now has not laid down any wards. They do not know that Chris is sitting in those bushes right there, so this could be a first blood. This could be the first gank of the game coming down at bottom lane. They ward down onto the brush on the side there to kind of get a feel of where Soraka is. Udyr is there. There he is. There goes the bear stance in. You see the rocket jump from Tristana and the flash from Soraka, and Chris will make his way out of there and start making his way back up towards the Wraiths. He did get the flash out of Soraka, though, so that was a semi-successful gank.
Oh, look at this. He's coming mid. Yeah, he's jumped out. The Q is on Udyr, but the bear stance is good. Cassiopeia is forced to flash out, but he's really going for it. Oh, and it looks like Gragas barely picks up first blood. That is definitely worth it. Gragas picking up first blood plus the assist from Udyr. That's going to add a whole bunch of gold onto that.
Absolutely. Now, we do see Warwick is going to start to make his way towards mid. This is one thing that's going to help out Warwick a lot, is if he goes and farms the mid lane. It looks like he's not going to actually farm up the mid lane. But that was strong. Very, very strong play. I don't know if it was necessarily worth it for Udyr. Time will tell. We have talked about how the early game really does need to go in the favor of just usual. But who knows? We'll see.
Yeah, I think like this Cassiopeia and Gragas lane could have gone either way. But with Gragas getting that first blood, that is going to give him a major advantage. He's backing right now, and we'll see what he buys. 2 Doran's rings. That is going to be some really strong early game, possibly more than Cassiopeia can handle.
Yeah, somebody made a really good point in the chat here that Udyr did lose both of his buffs, though, and that is going to be very, very bad for Udyr out of the jungle. However, Udyr is one of those champions that sustains pretty decently. I mean, having the blue buff and red buff certainly help, and they certainly help out with the ganks. But he's not a champion that, like Skarner, who, if he doesn't have the blue buff, he's not going to be able to jungle as well. Udyr should be pretty decently sustained. Maybe he just won't be able to gank as much, and that's going to take away from the early game. So we'll see how that affects him.
And still, bot lane is really pushed, and it looks like he wants it. Oh, it looks like his minis. Yeah, he's just waiting for his minis to respawn right now, I guess. Hanging out. Not sure what he's doing.
It is a minute wait onto each of the small camps, except for the Wraiths. I believe the Wraiths are actually 50 seconds. Up top, taking a look.
Here they come.
Yeah, taking a look at Renekton versus Nidalee. Actually, right now, Renekton is not staying sustained against Nidalee, who right now we're not really sure if she is actually. Yeah, we do know she is going AD. She has no AP runes. I have to imagine she's going to go AD then. And she's able to do a good job. Oh, Renekton comes in. He does hit the stun, the heal off on Nidalee, but just a great exchange. Goes to show that both champions that are able to sustain can fluctuate back and forth pretty easily.
Yeah, I think Renekton was a fine pick against Nidalee. Nidalee is going to sustain. She has to use her mana, and that's going to mean that she can't harass Renekton as well. But Renekton able to run in there with a slice and dice, do a lot of harass. I think that Renekton was. I think that Nidalee might have been a mistake, actually.
Well, we will see. Both champions are pretty notorious for. Oh, and there goes the ultimate from Gragas. Gragas is in there. Now Cassiopeia is going to counter it. The Cassiopeia ult. Just a great heads-up play from Ninja. Getting the ult off onto Gragas. And that is going to be another kill for Cassiopeia. One thing you don't want here is for Cassiopeia to start to snowball and get the kill. She has 2 kills already, and she will clear out the lane here. And I have to imagine we'll start to make her way back pretty soon.
Yeah, that was a really, that's the sort of stuff that I love to see from
Oh, there goes the Ignite off onto Renekton. Renekton is going to fall. Nidalee is also going to fall, and Udyr's just there to say, hey, what's up, guys? What's going on here? Oh, you're both killing each other. That's cool. And Udyr will farm up and soak up the rest of the lane, but that'll be a kill for both on top lane. And so what an early aggressive game. We kind of called that it was going to be early aggressive, but I didn't imagine that Nidalee or Renekton were going to kill each other. I kind of figured it would be influenced by either Udyr or Warwick, but Udyr had nothing to say out of either of those.
Yeah, Udyr's just sort of roaming around being Udyr. Now these lanes, we're seeing this again. This is really interesting. Usually in these higher level games you find the lanes are more of a farm fest, but in this case we're just seeing them being really aggressive towards each other. If they see any opening, they push it as hard as they can, and it makes for exciting games. I'm excited to see this.
So the blue buff is going to be given off to both AP carries. So Gragas is going to grab his, Cassiopeia is going to grab hers, and they're both going to farm up their lanes and push them, freeze them up in mid. We see Pink starting to go off onto Wraiths, and not too much. And look at that damage being exchanged between both Pawn Gypsy and Soda Pops. Or
Soda Pizzop.
Pizzop? Soda Pizzop.
Yeah, that's gangster way to say it, I guess.
But that heal from Nidalee right now is really strong. 4 levels in, it gives her about 150 per pop, and she's got it on about a 10-second cooldown, so that's a good amount. Oh, and there she goes, ultimate form onto Renekton. Renekton able to land the stun off onto her, though, and she isn't able to do, I guess, a lot of damage. Kind of smart play from Renekton to go in with that stun, but look at the sustain on Nidalee over Renekton.
Yeah, she's throwing out those spears real fast. Yeah, I think you said it wrong though.
Oh, the ultimate in from Warwick onto Gragas, and there goes the ultimate on from Cassiopeia as well, and Gragas is having a really, really tough going early game. Great play from Team C2, and they're going to pick up another kill onto Cassiopeia.
Now, I'm really impressed by C2 being able to hold out in lane while Warwick just farms and gets 6 as fast as he can, and we're starting to see it do work. I wouldn't be surprised if Warwick, was paying attention to that ultimate timer and was saying, okay, it's almost up, let's go ahead and gank another lane. So I wouldn't be surprised if every time his ultimate was up, it would result in a kill.
Look at this right here. Udyr's trying to get back into the mid lane to even farm up some of these, and he is not even able to get into farm. Cassiopeia is just laying down her poison. That was the miasma. I think I pronounced that right.
Miasma.
Miasma. Just laying it down there and saying, Udyr, you want to come in here? No, go ahead. I'm going to kite you all the way to your death. And Cassiopeia right now is strong enough to do so. She has 2 Dorans and her Source Boots, so she's able to deal a lot of damage out of her early game right now. And this is the one thing we said Just the Usual couldn't do. We said that they could not lose that early game. They needed to win it. And right now it's pretty even, but I would probably give it over to Team C2.
Now, something nice about Just the Usual is even if they do poorly early game, they have hope. Like you were saying, they have that Gragas ultimate for that repositioning. They have Janna for repositioning. And no matter what, they still have that Ashe initiation, which never falls off.
Absolutely. And we do see a dragon attempt here out of Team C2. Warwick has started off onto the dragon. He does have his...
They don't know.
He does have his Razor. So he is doing work onto the dragon. There's just nothing right now Just the Usual can do against that dragon, so they're not even going to try. They're going to go ahead and give the dragon up for free, and that's going to propel them a little bit. They do have about a 2k gold advantage right now. C2 does.
Yeah, that was smart. Ashe and Janna had both backed at the same time, and there was no ward. They had a pink right here. They knew that there were no wards in this immediate vicinity. And actually, it was kind of funny. I was thinking, oh man, Gragas and Udyr are going to be coming down to try and contest this. No, they're actually literally going the opposite direction to ward.
Oh, bad positioning right now for Nidalee. The ultimate from Renekton is off the stun onto Nidalee. Nidalee does get ignited, and she's taking a lot of damage on from Pawn Gypsy, who is going to pick up the kill. And so that would be a 2-in-1 Renekton up top as Nidalee falls.
Well, Udyr finally getting those ganks off that he needed, but I think it may just be a little bit too late. Those ganks needed to happen mid lane and bot lane. However, it looks like it is coming mid. No, he didn't go for it. I'm really surprised, though it does make sense. Cassiopeia has her Twin Fang at level 3, Noxious Blast at level 5, and of course her ultimate. Going to be doing a lot of work there. We've seen her use her ultimate fantastically. Oh, here comes the Ashe arrow. Is it going to land? No!
No!
There was some pings going on there. Not from C2's side. So Cassiopeia looks like she just got lucky there.
Yeah, Cassiopeia barely avoiding that Ashe arrow. If that Ashe arrow had hit, that would have been certain doom for Cassiopeia. Udyr was around the corner. He does have his bear stance, stun. However you want to say that. And then Udyr, and then Gragas also has his ultimate to knock her back. So that would have definitely been a bad situation for Cassiopeia. But she does survive, and she is going to make her way back with a good chunk of change, as she's probably going to go back and... now, I don't know how to check how much money they have on hand. How do you do that?
Just click the gold item. Like, just click the gold icon on the
Oh, and it
menu
shows... Oh, okay,
item.
that makes sense.
It has the gold they have now, and then their total gold.
All right, well, going back, Gragas is going to pick up his needlessly large rod, and that's going to be a great pickup for Gragas. 12 minutes into the game, he has 3 Dorans and a needlessly large rod, so even though he has fallen twice, he is still staying up there with AP with about 171. Blue buff going to go over to Cassiopeia, who grabs her Giant's Belt right away, which isn't surprising. Cassiopeia has very strong base stats and benefits greatly from Rayleighs.
Yeah, Rylai's is pretty much core on Cassiopeia no matter what. I've never seen a good Cassiopeia take anything other than Rylai's as their first core item.
I have seen Warmog's Cassiopeia. That's always kind of interesting.
I've seen that too, but I've never really seen it work. Not first. I have keep in mind how I phrased that. I've never seen a Cassiopeia that did well.
Right. No, I know. I see what you're saying. I smell what you're stepping in. Both lanes starting to... all the lanes starting to get back into their laning phase. Udyr is starting to make his way around here, and mid. Cassiopeia is doing a good job of right now farming over Gragas, but Gragas is doing a good job of staying right in there. He's about 10 CS down, but considering that he's died twice over Cassiopeia, he's staying strong when it comes to CS, and that right now is about all he can do as he continues to farm and build up that AP.
Yeah, Cassiopeia is about 1,000 golds up over Gragas right now, but Gragas is being really smart, going to the jungle to take the creeps whenever he can.
We see the pings going off on red buff. It looks like Team C2 does know that Udyr is in the area. They do have the ward and the tri-brush, so they are going to know that he is sitting down there, and he's going to bear stance in. He just has he's like, I'm going in no matter what, man. I don't care if you see me or not.
Yeah, maybe they'll misclick.
Maybe. Something of that nature.
So Warwick is picking up red buff again. This is going to, like, I wouldn't be surprised if we started to see him ganking again. I've been really impressed with Warwick. Usually Warwick is not known for his ganks, has to wait for his ultimate to come up, but he's gotten some really pivotal kills off recently.
Oh, absolutely. Warwick has been playing strong. I'm kind of surprised he picked up a quick recurve bow on top of his Razor. He didn't turn his Razor into a Wriggles, and it looks like he's trying to get his way in there for a ninja gank. I don't know if he's going to be able to get in there before the creeps all die. Nidalee is going to be able to do AoE damage. Oh, there goes the ultimate from Renekton. He had no idea that Warwick was sitting in the bush. There goes the ultimate from Warwick onto Renekton, and that is going to be a pickup for Warwick. And Renekton is going to fall. That was a big kill for Team C2.
That was excellently played by Warwick and Nidalee there. They knew exactly what they needed to do. That was just really good communication in between them. I'm really impressed with the team play that C2 is showing right now. Just the usual is keeping up okay in gold. They're only about 1.4k total behind. That's not a whole lot. So, but they don't have timer on Dragon. That's something really important to note, is they did not see Dragon go down, which means C2 has the Dragon timer, just the usual does not.
C2 has been doing a really good job of playing smart. That was just a smart play from Warwick, who picked up right away a recurve bow and a giant belt. I'm kind of interested to see the direction that Warwick's going to go. He's picked up a lot of pieces, not big items yet, though. He's got a giant's belt, a recurve bow, and a razor.
It's not surprising that he decided to wait for that Wriggles, because he really doesn't need the lifesteal from Wriggles. He has his passive. That's enough. Anything like if he can't lifesteal out of if his passive can't lifesteal him back to life, then nothing's going to. Well, I guess that's sort of the mentality. But he does have the recurve bow.
You're talking about this dragon timer. You're talking about this dragon timer. C2 is on it. However, Just the Usual is in the area, and it looks like they do have a little bit of an idea on there. Now, Udyr is in there. Oh, Udyr is going to get ulted by Warwick. There goes the ultimate from Cassiopeia. Nidalee is going to take down Udyr. Renekton is going to fall pretty fast as well to Nidalee, and this Nidalee, playing AD Nidalee, is right now doing work. She is 3-2. She does have her, not dodge boots, but ninja tabbies, does have a Wriggles and a Phage, and also picks up 2 kills there. That was just a strong play.
Yeah, I guess this is another sign of being in a bad position where you can burn everything on Udyr and still have enough to pick up some more kills without losing anyone. That was just really good positioning by C2. And we were talking about Just the Usual having the ability to displace C2, but C2 is playing so smart. Everyone is exactly where they need to be. and they're able to play off of that. They have Cassiopeia right where she needs to be. They have Tristana where she needs to be. Those are the two really big damage dealers. Nidalee is going to be another really big force to be reckoned with. Her damage is starting to get up there. She has her Fade, she has her Wriggle's Lantern. You can't really ignore her damage anymore. But everyone was just where she needed to be. The positioning was perfect.
Oh, it absolutely was, and you see Nidalee taking down this turret pretty fast. One thing about her heal there is that it also gives her attack speed, and it gives her 60% extra attack speed. Now, Udyr is coming around the corner. Nidalee could be in a bad position here. There goes Renekton. He comes in with the stun. There goes the flash from Nidalee. Nidalee is going to get stunned by Udyr. Udyr now is doing some damage onto Nidalee, but Nidalee, with her passive in the brush, is able to escape and is absolutely fine.
So Tristana, this is different from what we were seeing last game. Last game we saw that she wasn't building any lifesteal. Now she has the makings of a Bloodthirster. She's going to be getting that really soon. She's farming really well. She can afford to do it.
Yeah, and it's kind of surprising. Normally we see Tristana's grab a quick Infinity Edge for that extra crit to go with the attack speed that she gets from her attack speed steroid, but this time instead going with the Bloodthirster. Well, we don't know entirely yet, but what looks like could be a Bloodthirster, and maybe going for that extra attack damage that comes out of there.
So big buy happening right now. Cassiopeia has her Rylai's right now, but Gragas just picked up his death cap.
I have to give it over to Cassiopeia. She also has a Blasting Wand and 2 Dorans. She has 4 AP right now, 214. Gragas currently has 314, so he certainly has the AP advantage. But the kiting abilities of Cassiopeia right now are very, very strong, and it's going to make a big difference in team fights.
Loopiness, though, has been throwing out his abilities right where they need to be, except for that dragon fight, of course. Cassiopeia, like, both of them are showing some really good play. Loopiness, of course, is a very good AP, but Ninja, he's really showing off his skills even more this game.
Oh, absolutely, and right now playing a super strong AP mid. I have to give it to him. He is just playing very, very strong right now. Now, remember, this is a best out of 3, so if whatever team loses, they are going to have another chance at this because this is game 1 out of 3 when it comes to the mid. Oh, and that's a good point. Cass also has her magic penetration. Her boots, too, with the magic penetration. So she certainly is doing a lot of damage when it comes to her AoE. Oh, and there goes the Ashe ult onto Cassiopeia. Cassiopeia just getting annihilated by Gragas. And she's going to, oh my goodness, the flash into the ultimate. But it is not enough. What an amazing team play from Team Just
meantime,
Usual.
top lane, Nidalee is really doing a lot of damage to Renekton flashing in, trying to get the stun off. Wow! Look at this! He did it! He did it! No way! He drops down to 50 health, flashes in, stuns her, slices, dices her, and lifesteals to survive the ignite under tower. That was so good. What just happened? Pawn Gypsy, oh my gosh.
And Soraka almost falling. The summoner heal is going to have to be used out of Tristana, but man, oh man, great plays all around from Team Just the Usual, who are not out of this yet. Do not count them out of this, evidently, because they are going to do their best to fight this as much as possible. What a play from Renekton. That was amazing.
I'm not over that yet. That was insane.
Don't forget the amount of...
Warwick, however, has ulted Udyr. Udyr is forced to flash out of there so he doesn't die from the tower. That was a good defensive play from Udyr. Gonna have to get out of there real quick.
Now, don't forget the amount of lifesteal that Renekton does have when his passive is up. When he is under 50% health, he gains Fury back 50%, and the amount of life he gets back from his Q is a good amount. He gets, let's see here, gains 5% of the damage dealt to him with that. That's a good amount. He not 10%. He gets 10% with his Fury being up. So obviously a lot of life still coming out of his Call of the Meek, and just a great heads up play. I'm gonna have to watch that on a replay and relive that moment over and over and over again.
Yeah, I'm having a super geek out moment right now. Wow.
Oh man, what a great
we just
play.
Can't get over that play.
We do see 3 starting to make their way towards mid. Cassiopeia could be in a bad place right now. Gragas, does he have his ultimate? He does have his ultimate, so if he can land a good ultimate, maybe they're getting ready for Dragon, possibly? I'm not entirely sure what they're getting ready for here.
It's coming up very soon.
But they are sitting in mid, starting to get ready a little bit. And That must be what it is. They have lost the first 2 dragons, so I think that they don't want to lose the 3rd one.
So something interesting to note, Tristana had the makings of a bloodthirster, but apparently she had enough gold to just go ahead and turn that BF sword into an eye edge instead. I can definitely see why she did that. She already has the lifesteal from Vampiric Scepter, that's going to help, but she could just get that Infinity Edge that quickly. Good choice on her part, I think, because now she's going to be doing a lot of damage, still has a decent amount of lifesteal.
So here we go. Everybody's lining up, getting ready for the dragon fight. We do see Team C2 sitting in their bushes. They do have a little bit of the advantage right now. However, the amount of displacement that Team Just the Usual has is strong with the Gragas ultimate and also with the Janna ultimate. They're able to really separate the teams, and that's what they're going to hope to do here is either A, negate Warwick's ultimate with either Janna's ultimate or Gragas's, and B, single somebody out and make it so that you can pick that up. We do see they're just trying to. It's funny here. They're trying to feel each other out, but nobody is getting into anybody. Grog is finally getting hit by one of Nidalee's traps, so there is vision right now onto Gragas. The dragon has not been started yet. They're like dancing with that dragon. I'm not entirely sure what they're doing.
Dancing with Dragons. That sounds like a good power metal song.
I was thinking the next TV show, reality show. You know. Dancing with the Dragons? So many wards have been ate up by Soraka's Oracle right now as they just see it. And now Warwick is starting to make his way onto... And right now, Just the Usual not in good place if they can kill this dragon fast. Oh, and Raging Kenny picks up the kill onto Tristana, but the dragon is going to go over to Team C2. And we see the team fight starting to go down. There goes the ultimate from Cassiopeia. An ultimate from Renekton is going to keep him alive. Warwick going to ulti onto Gragas. Renekton takes a good amount of damage. Now it's Chris on Udyr who's taking a lot of damage. Right now, Just Usual not in a good place. The splash in from Nidalee is in there. The ultimate from Gragas. And really low health right now is Udyr. Udyr is going to fall over to Nidalee. And it looks like that's going to be the carnage of it all. Just a 1-for-1 exchange. Tristana falling to Ashe earlier on. And then... Udyr falling to Nidalee, but the dragon does go over to Team C2, so that'll definitely go in their favor as they currently have about a 3k gold advantage.
Raging Kenny that entire time was bot lane taking tower, and that was a really smart move from her because they'd lost Dragon, but they had killed Tristana, which meant there wasn't anyone really there to stop her, so that was a very good choice. They lost Dragon, but they got the tower. And that means they're going to be able to set up for Dragon much easier next time, as long as they can keep this first layer bot tower up.
Ping's starting to go off down towards the jungle entrance, and I'm not sure what they were pinging exactly about, but we do see mid turrets starting to fall. And when it comes to turret advantage, right now Team Just Usual is actually losing. They have 1 turret left up of their 3 original 3 first standing turrets, whereas Team C2 right now has all but 1.
Yeah, this mid lane should be falling soon if Just the Usual can group up, take it really quickly. Oh yeah, it's almost down. Look at this. This minion wave is going to finish it off. Oh wow, Grog is doing a lot of damage with his barrel roll and his ultimate. Soraka using Summoner Heal and her Astral Blessing to keep herself alive. She's going to be fine. Going to be able to get out of there. Those heals from Soraka probably making Gragas rage and smash his face into the computer into his keyboard right now. The Ashe Arrow barely missed Soraka. I don't think that would have resulted in a kill anyway, though. Just good measure. Good measure, Ashe Ultimate.
Well, it may not have been a bad idea to also grab it just so you could get the initiation onto Cassiopeia, who was in the area, and maybe possibly do something with that. But yeah, the Ashe Arrow does kind of whiff, and we see pings already starting to come out around Baron. We're about 26 minutes into the game. Of course, they have Warwick, who is the master at taking Baron. He does have his Razor, and you also have Nidalee, who has a Wriggle's Lantern. So if they were to choose right now, C2 definitely has an advantage when it comes to the Baron.
I'm thinking about Warwick's building. He has a bunch of pieces. Isn't he building anything?
And that's
right now it looks like he's building an Aegis.
It could be that. It could possibly be a Frozen Mallet, maybe. Maybe he wants the Frozen Mallet. Maybe he's actually going to build a Madrid's Blood Razor.
Yeah, Madrid's is down the road, but...
And that's not a bad pickup. You know, a lot of times you don't see that played too much, but when you have a Renekton on the other team, Renektons are pretty notorious for having very high health. Also, Gragas as well. He's somebody that gets a pretty high base health as well. And we see the teams both starting to make their way towards Baron. This will be the Baron fight that we were waiting for. The ward coverage is starting to go out. Soraka is starting to look for all of the wards. You see traps being laid down by Nidalee. I don't know that Team Just Usual can win the team fight against these guys. They're going to have to get kind of creative when it comes to this.
Yeah, C2 has done a really good job of keeping map control. I've been very impressed. Just Usual is usually the one that has that sort of control, but this time C2 has been taking that away from them. It's something that Just Usual relies on. But oh wow, that spear is doing a lot of damage at this point. Even if she's building AD, Nidalee does have her Triforce. She's really tough right now. She's going to be mean, especially in Cougar form, jumping onto one of them, drawing the focus and allowing Tristana and Cassiopeia to do their damage.
Spirit Visage. It's a good call from somebody in chat. Spirit Visage might actually be the item that Warwick is going for. He does have the health crystal. All he needs is the I'm blanking on the name of it, but he has most of the components for Spirit Visage as well. Aegis wouldn't necessarily be a bad idea for the team fights, but that's a good point. Nidalee also having her Trinity Force and a Wriggles. That Nidalee right now is doing a good amount of damage. Warwick sitting in that bush. He knows the ward has been laid down. Janna does have her oracles. Soraka also has her oracles, and they're just going around trying to clean out the wards. Both teams obviously want this Baron.
Yeah, John is just barely missing that ward. That ward's pretty important. They cannot tell where C2 is right now. They do have a ward right behind Baron in this bush here. Nice placement. Soraka has not picked up on it yet. Like once they saw Soraka leave, they just said, no, whatever. We can plant wards now. We can figure out where they are. It'll be worth it. That's a lot of gold being spent on wards. Just thinking about it. If I was playing carry, I'd be like, ow. Every time I lost a ward.
Oh, and it looks like the Baron fight is going to start. Cassiopeia is a little bit out of place right now. Cassiopeia was down at bottom lane. They did see that she was there. They're going to take out that ward, and they're going to start it. I don't think that they're going to, they are not going to continue with this because Cassiopeia is going to get there in prime time. This may have been a bad start for Team Just Usual. Renekton now about half health. Janna is low as well, and this might be good positioning right now for Team C2. Cassiopeia starting to make her way in. There goes the ultimate from Warwick. The ultimate from Cassiopeia as well. Renekton is going to fall fast to Warwick. Falling down fast as well right now is Cassiopeia to Gragas. Ashe is going to fall to Nidalee with the Ignite. Gragas is getting dangerously low. There goes the Tristana rocket jump. Nidalee picks up the kill on both Ashe and Gragas right now. A double kill for Nidalee. Nidalee grabs the Summoner heal, and that's going to be another kill for Nidalee. That is a triple kill right now on Soda Pizzop. Soda Pizzop. And that was just a great play from Nidalee, from the whole team really, and the amount of damage that she was able to do was insurmountable, and it was just a big help. It was a 1-for-4 exchange, and we're going to see Baron go towards Team C2. That's going to be a very big exchange that just happened.
Yeah, C2 played that really well. The only mistake I saw them make was allowing Udyr to get in and kill Cassiopeia. However, the rest of the team was really doing what they needed. Nidalee was right in the face. Oh wow, it looks like Udyr is getting caught out of position. And while I'm talking, he's so low right now. Yep, there's the flashing Tristana, and the auto attack will finish him off. There he goes. Udyr being a little bit gutsy there. Probably thinking about trying to steal that Baron. But anyways, as I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted by Udyr's death, Nidalee was right where she needed to be. She got right up in their faces. Warwick engaged perfectly. He was sticking to the carries. Soraka was just, like, their positioning was perfect. C2's positioning has been fantastic this whole game. I don't think Gragas got a chance to ultimate that entire fight. I think he did around the end. Yeah,
he did around the end. Gragas did pick up a kill. However, it really was not enough, and the damage output, the AoE damage output right now of Nidalee is enough to where, because the Cassiopeia stuns, because of the Warwick ult, I mean, right now, there's just not a lot. Just when it comes to team fights, I thought, what's that?
Warwick has finally bought items.
Oh. Yes, he has. He has gotten his wit's end and a Warmogs. Kind of an interesting purchase.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. He's their frontliner, and he's the one engaging, and he's the one that's going to be taking a lot of that initial damage. In fact, Gragas, because his cooldown on his barrel roll is so small, he might even be able to throw it out on him, and then throw it out onto the rest of the team. So Warwick needs to be tough right now, and he's doing exactly what he needs. He's 2-0-8, and he's using that gold on toughness, doing exactly what he needs to do. Cassiopeia picking up a Zhonya's Hourglass now. I think that's a really wise purchase. She's going... Last time, she just got focused down by Udyr. Udyr literally ran through the entire team fight and beat Cassiopeia into a pulp. And with Zhonya's Hourglass, she's going to be able to buy time for herself while the team converges on Udyr and pushes him away.
Right, I think that's a strong purchase as well. I mean, right now, Zhonya, because of the immunity that you get, when you're in the middle of a team fight, it is so strong. So strong. We also see Nidalee grabbing a Guardian's Angel, which is... I mean, Nidalee hasn't died much as it is ever since we got out of the laning phase, but even now, that's going to be even more. We're going to see Team C2 start to make their way towards the top lane. There is a decent wave push coming down, and we might see the final... I have to think that the next team fight is probably going to go ahead and determine who wins this one. Because Just the Usual needs something. Oh, and Udyr in a bad place right now. Also, right now, Soraka in a bad place. Soraka's going to fall to Ashe. Tristana does take out Udyr. There goes the Janna ultimate. Is it enough? Warwick is fast and trying to make his way in there. Starting to cut him a little bit is Ashe, and they are both going to make their way out. However, C2 is going to be in the vicinity of top tower, and they are going to start to work on it. Gragas laying down some barrels. Cassiopeia is low. Are they going to continue to push it is the question.
I think they're going to be able to. Actually, Gragas is doing a really good job of poking. Yeah, I didn't take that into account enough. Those barrel rolls are going to be doing a lot. He does have blue buff, so it's going to be coming back every 5.32 seconds. So that trade, at first I thought was going in the favor of C2 because, you know, support for Udyr. I'd usually take that, but because Gragas was still there, he was able to push them off of the tower.
You're also going to lose... Not only did they lose tower, well, just for thought lost tower, but you also lost oracles, which, granted, at this point right now, isn't that big of a deal. Baron's gone, Dragon's gone, but you're going to want to get that oracle back within the next, say, 5 minutes, so that way you can start clearing out and start getting a little bit of map control. So we will see.
No,
if
she picked up another.
Did she pick up another?
Yeah.
So I guess that's not that surprising. It's going to be a little bit of a setback, but right now Soraka, she has 3 gold per 5 items. She's got Philostone, she's got her pick, and she's also got the Heart of Gold. So right now, yeah, that exchange was not worth it for Team Just the Usual.
No, definitely not. It allowed them to take that tower. They weren't able to take another because Gragas' poke was so strong, but it's not going to be enough.
Yeah, right now Team C2 is just doing a good job of pushing out this complete map here. I mean, if you look at this, from the river on, they want to grab this last turret, so that way they're pushed all the way up to their inhibitor turrets, and it looks like that's what they're going to do. They're going to start pushing the mid. I wouldn't be too surprised if we see someone start to strafe and make their way down towards bottom lane. You've got Nidalee and Warwick up front-lining it, looking to make something happen.
Yeah, definitely. That's what C2 has been doing a really good job of, is engaging with Warwick and Nidalee. They'll just jump on someone, and Nidalee's burst damage is really high right now in aspect of the Cougar. That burst damage, of course, and then Warwick completely shutting someone down. At this point, he's been pretty indiscriminate with it. It doesn't matter to him. Oh wow, Ashe arrow coming out. Cassiopeia flashes out of the way, so the arrow hits Warwick instead. She turns around and uses her ultimate, but looks like it's not going to be enough. She's just being jumped on so hard. Zhonya's Hourglass is going to keep her alive a little bit longer. Soraka and Nidalee are coming in, but no, it's not going to be enough. Cassiopeia is going to fall to Loopiness's barrel.
I'm surprised that they were so out of position there. They've been in a really good team position so far, and Cassiopeia got knocked out, and right now that's the person between her and Nidalee. Those are the two you do not want knocked out, because right now they are dealing a really good amount of damage. They're also really kind of controlling the flow of the team fight. So it looks like Just the Usual is going to start to make their way back towards mid lane and start to make a little bit of a push.
Yeah, this is the first time they've gotten the push in a long time. Right now, Cassiopeia is the real threat. Her damage output is massive right now, with Abyssal Scepter and Sorcerer's Shoes just completely getting rid of a whole bunch of magic resist. Oh wow, looks like they're going to engage. Gragas used his ultimate. Nidalee is in a bad position right now. Warwick is in there, doing tons of damage to Renekton. Renekton is going to have to back off. They're all going to have to back off. Gragas and Renekton are just too low to sustain this fight. that tower really doing work. They caught who they needed to. Renekton stayed in there just too long. It looks like they're not going to chase him down. They're just going to do a nice counter push here. They may be able to turn this into a tower if they play this right. Gragas is going to have to peel off to take care of this minion wave. But it looks like the minions for C2 are just a little bit too slow. They're going to have to settle for blue buff instead, which I would not complain about.
No, it's definitely not something to complain about. In fact, it's not only going to help out with that, but it's going to help out with a little bit of the map control, allow them to continue to push the complete map. While Just the Thought, excuse me, Just the Usual had an opportunity to push the mid lane, you still have most of your map being pushed by Team C2 right now, and that's kind of the big thing. Mid is just a very, very, very small piece of the puzzle. So while they did get the kill off, and they did get that, they didn't even get the tower really. Just the Usual is in bad positioning right now. Is in a bad position team-wise and map control-wise.
Yeah, however, it looks like they're both stacking up for Baron. Like, we're getting late enough into the game where the death timers are getting pretty darn long. And if one team is able to pick up Baron, that could mean a lot. I'm surprised Just the Usual is behind by almost 10k gold. They're doing a really good job of still staying in this game. They don't have the towers. They're still doing a good job of team fighting and showing that they are still strong as a team. They work well together. And even if they are caught out of position, they can still do well sometimes. They have a really good team composition for picking off an unwary person.
Yep, they do, and they have a good team composition to also make it so somebody is a little bit out of the area with the Janna ultimate and also the Gragas ultimate. But right now, Team C2 is in great positioning for the Baron. I really don't see a way that Just the Usual can really win a team fight right now. I feel like if they bait Baron, that's definitely going to be the way to go. But you see both of them just kind of sitting around there waiting for the perfect time to initiate.
I'd say there is still hope for Just the Usual, because Loopiness's ultimate explosive casks have been excellent this game. However, Warwick is right up front. There goes the Ashtar, is going to land on Soraka, and now Renekton is in there doing massive amount of pain. Soraka is going to get pushed out. In the meantime, though, Udyr is going to fall. Renekton is going to fall alongside Warwick as well. The frontliners are gone. Now just the damage. People are falling left and right. Janna is out of the mix now. That is a 3-for-1 right now. Soraka was able to get out of there, and Warwick is the only one that fell for C2. Nidalee going to be just fine because she has that. She has her Guardian Angel, excuse me.
Yeah, not only that, really, you took out the front line, you took out Warwick, but it was a 1-for-3 exchange. I'm kind of surprised they don't try to pressure Baron a little bit here. They do have Soraka, they do have her heals, they also have Nidalee and her heals, but they're going to go back and regroup. That was a great exchange in favor of Team C2. And that's exactly what you kind of expected. That team fight went more or less how you expected it.
Yeah, definitely. Right now, the frontliners you can sort of think of as Udyr and Nidalee for C2, and then Just the Usual has Udyr and Renekton. Udyr and Renekton fell at the same time as Warwick, but Nidalee was still healthy and keeping Just the Usual off of her carries. That was really well played by C2, able to keep their tough people alive so that their damage dealers could do work. And once they saw that there was no toughness left, Tristana, who is just about completely built here, she's just going to go for a Guardian Angel probably now, based off of that chain vest. She was able to just jump in and finish everyone off. The AD carries, I should mention, are really built now. Both of them have an Infinity Edge, they have a Phantom Dancer, and they have a Last Whisper, sort of the 3 basic items you need as an AD carry to really carry. Oh, man,
like here we go. Yeah, we're going to have a little bit of an initiation. Renekton finding himself in a bad position. Renekton falling to about half health right away. There goes the ultimate from Cassiopeia. Laying down some big barrels is Gragas. Warwick is going to pick up a kill quickly on Janna right now. Chris on Udyr is taking a lot of damage, but Warwick is going to fall to Renekton. Renekton also picks up the kill on Soraka. Wow, that Renekton doing just a great job. However, Cassiopeia picked up the kill onto her. A lot of people low damage here. The Guardian's Angel is going to be activated for Nidalee, and right now it's going to be a chase between Udyr and Gragas. Gragas is going to sit there, maybe bait it out just a little bit, but it is a 3-for-3 exchange, and I'm surprised that that exchange went as well as it did in favor of Just the Usual.
Just the Usual is playing really smart here. You saw Gragas was able to they had the ward back here. They could see where all of the real main targets were. They were all clumped together. So that was Soraka, Tristana, Cassiopeia, all taking that, let's see, all taking those Gragas Qs and that Gragas ultimate right to the face. They all dropped about quarter health with that single combo. That was really well played.
Well, we are getting to that point in the game where people are starting to finish up their builds. We see Cassiopeia does have her needlessly large rod. I think she's going to go for a death cap right away on top of that. Gragas does make his way back. He's going to grab a needlessly large rod as well. And I wonder if he's going to start building an hourglass. It would be kind of a little bit of an interesting grab for his part. For Udyr, Udyr's pretty behind when it comes to items, and I'm not too surprised considering he's 0-6 and 6. He is pretty far behind when it comes to farm. He does have his wit's end. He does have a Randuin's, but if there's a weak link right now, it's surprisingly Chris on Udyr.
Yeah, definitely. He hasn't been that strong of a presence so far. He's in one team fight, he ran in and got Cassiopeia, but that left the rest of his team open to get killed.
Right. And with Udyr, with champions like that, you either want to do one of two things. You want to go and dive in straight onto the carry, or you're going to want to peel the carries off of your other, damage dealers, or peel the tanks off. If you have a tank that's, doing a good amount of CC, Udyr's great for peeling them off of, and doing a lot of that CC. We do see Warwick also grabbed his Guardian's Angel, and Tristana also with a Guardian's Angel. Oh, there goes the ultimate from Warwick onto Janna. Janna's going to lay down her ultimate. Gragas, though, is able to take down Cassiopeia fast. Holy cow. And right now in a bad position is Warwick. His Guardian's Angel is going to activate, but he is in the middle of 5 people for Just the Usual, and he is going to fall. What a turn of events in favor of Just the Usual, who are now going to start to bait out Baron a little bit. Now they're just going to make their way towards mid lane and start to ping it. This could possibly... this is pretty interesting. This is going the exact opposite way we kind of thought it was going.
That Janna, what really decided that fight was that Janna ultimate. Janna was jumped on by Warwick, and then Warwick started running for the carries. But as soon as that happened, Janna was able to throw out her ultimate. Gragas was able to throw out his damage onto the carries, which were all grouped up in that little corner over there. And then Warwick wasn't there to keep his carries safe.
Oh, right now Gragas is taking a lot of damage. Tristana picks up a crit onto Gragas, and Gragas is going to be shut down. But he is going to be able to pick up his hourglass. And you see pings starting to go around. And like you said, taking a look at this area here, this is where the team fight went down. They bottlenecked right in that area, and you do not want to bottleneck. You don't want to be going into a bottlenecked area when you're playing against a Gragas. That's the one thing that you don't want. Nidalee chasing down Renekton a little bit here. And Renekton's going to lay down his... stun onto Nidalee. I don't think Nidalee... What is Renekton? I'm surprised Renekton's starting to make his way back. Oh, they are. We're going to have to wait for Baron. 30 seconds left onto Gragas. So smart play right now by Team C2, who see this as an opportunity to get a 5v4 situation. And look at the damage Tristana is able to do onto Renekton. She does have her last whisper, so cutting through a lot of that armor.
Yeah, Tristana is doing so well right now. Ashe and Tristana are really similarly built, except, Tristana has a Guardian Angel. Yeah, she's better built than Ashe right now, but even if they were evenly built, Tristana is that hyper late game carry. Her range right now, she's getting tons of range from her passive. She is level 18, of course, because she's been farming well. Almost everyone is 18. Udyr is really is behind right now, level 17. Not that far behind, though. Not too important. Warwick he decided to go for a Guardian Angel, finally has, all of his big items. He got those a little while ago. It was kind of funny to see how he had all those pieces for a while.
So the ever-coveted Baron did end up going to C2, and I mean, that was really kind of the catalyst behind a lot of those team fights. So now that Team C2 has the Baron, pings are starting to go off. I wouldn't be too surprised if we see C2 starting to push a little bit, maybe try to take an inhibitor pretty shortly.
So right now we play the waiting game. All the big neutral objectives are gone, and Just the Usual has absolutely no reason to engage right now. They do have mid lane pushing with super minions, but that's no real reason to engage, especially when your enemy has Baron buff.
Right, and we're gonna see both teams really doing their best to really doing their best to push out the lanes, grab the CS as they can. We do see Ashe does grab a Guardian's Angel. Renekton also has a Guardian's Angel. We have a lot of Guardian's Angels. Another Dragon going towards Team C2, who right now has over a 10k gold advantage. Taking a peek at what that exactly looks like. Oh, Gragas laying down a barrel over onto Soraka there. 15,000 on Ashe to the 15,000 on Tristana, so that's pretty even. When it comes to Cassiopeia, 17,000 compared to the 15,000 on Gragas, but still both of them with a lot of money. You kind of get into the point where, okay, they already have all their full items, drink a bunch of potions, and get ready for the team fight.
Yeah, at this point, the gold advantage isn't nearly as huge. The only person who's a little bit behind right now is Udyr. He's missing his, let's see, what is he getting? He's probably going for, oh no, not a Guardian Angel. I'm not certain what he's getting. I don't think he's going for a big item right now. He's just building up all the stats that he can, so he'll be ready for that next fight. Now,
Udyr is pretty close to Warwick actually right now. Warwick has about a 1,000k gold advantage, but I mean, considering how well Warwick has been doing so far this game, I'm a little bit surprised to see that Udyr is still sticking pretty close to him when it comes to the gold advantage. Now we are going to see the jungle invade coming in from Team C2. They are going to take the blue buff and start to make their way towards top lane to push that out. And at that point, oh yeah, they're going to start to actually make their way back, because look at this wave that's coming up from bottom right now for Team Just the Usual.
I don't think it's going to be able to push it down. Not quite. But that is going to be a lot of lost CS. That being said, gold is not nearly as important in this phase of the game. Just the Usual has done an amazing job of just dragging this game out as long as they can, so that gold advantage doesn't mean nearly as much. You have your AD carries who are fully built right now, like Tristana has this Vampiric Scepter she's been holding on to for almost the entire game. Probably going to build it into a Bloodthirster eventually.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised. We thought that Team C2 had the definite better late game advantage, but right now, so far, it's been shown that Team Just the Usual is sticking in there, especially in these late game team fights. They're only down by 6 kills right now. The gold advantage, like you said, it's a big gold advantage. It's almost 11k now. However, with that in mind, this late into the game, everyone's going to get their items enough. And look at that. It was enough to take down that bottom turret. So the first inhibitor turret that goes down is for Just the Usual.
Here comes the Ashe ultimate. It lands on Soraka. Soraka's stunned right now, and Nidalee is going to be there too. Wow, that was a really long stun. Soraka's being forced to flash out. Surely his Reverie is going to assure that they're going to be able to get out of there just fine. Yeah, you're right. Everyone is built now. There's, like, that gold advantage doesn't mean anything anymore. Not nearly as much. I mean, it may mean... Oh, wow. Oh, yep, Jana just picked up Aurelia's Reverie. That's a big buy.
That's going to really help out with team fights, both engaging and disengaging when it comes to team fights, just because that Aurelia's gives you basically your whole team a ghost. It gives everybody 40% movement speed for 3 seconds, and that's a lot of movement speed, especially for initiating, especially when you have somebody like Udyr on your team, who also, by the way, has his Randuin. Randuin's does the exact opposite for the other team. It gives 35... It gives a minus 35% movement speed to everybody around you. So look for those to be kind of used in succession to really do a good job of kiting the team, and also doing a good job of engaging and disengaging.
This game is so intense. It's 50 minutes now. And this is only the first game of the series. This game has been incredible to watch.
Oh, absolutely. Both teams playing great. Really have to give it to Just the Usual for doing such a good job of sticking in this one. I mean, you really wouldn't have thought that they would have stuck in this one, especially with how bad... Oh, there goes the Ashe arrow onto Tristana. Tristana's in a really bad position. She does have her Guardians, and Team C2 starting to make their way in. Tristana comes back. The rocket jump is not going to be enough. Tristana falls to Gragas. Gragas now is doing all sorts of harassment onto Warwick, and Renekton is also in. There goes the Zhonya's Hourglass onto Cassiopeia. Cassiopeia is going to get attacked onto by Renekton, and Renekton takes out Cassiopeia, and the first inhibitor goes towards Team Just the Usual, and they are going to try to take out a second one here. Are my eyes seeing what? I don't believe it! Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Team Just the Usual just doing an amazing job in team fights, as they are now taking down some of the... Oh, and there goes the ultimate from Warwick onto Gragas, but Gragas is going to use headbutt in, and they are still attacking those inside turrets, not taking a whole lot of damage. Udyr is in there. Ash is taking a lot of damage from Nidalee. Nidalee is just pounding onto Ash, not taking a ton of damage, and that is going to be game. Hitting, wow, GG in favor of Team Just the Usual over C2, a game that went 50 minutes long, that was for the longest time in the favor of Team C2, and Just the Usual just doing a great job with team fights. They ended up winning it.
Ash arrow never falls off. Wow. That, like, I don't even know what to say. That Ash arrow was what really decided it at the end. That was such a good arrow.
I am... That Ash arrow, well, the Ash arrow really is what set it up. It was the ability to place and displace the opponent. It was the ability to separate out with either the Grog's ultimate or the Janna ultimate, but then also focus in with the Ash arrow, and the stuns from the Ash arrow were just enough to really be that engaged that they needed.
Yeah, Just the Usual was able to play off of their team comp's ability to scoot everyone around wherever they needed to be. And in the end, that's what won them the game. I couldn't believe it. I mean, they were able to play off of that so well. I wouldn't be surprised if they'd run that team comp before and had said, okay, like, here's what we're going to be doing. We're just going to try and break them up as much as possible and take advantage of that. And we saw it happening in every team fight that Just the Usual won. They had Gragas ulting and throwing everyone around. We saw that fantastic Janna ultimate. She really played that well when Warwick ulted onto her. It may have been reflexive, but it ended up being really well because it pushed everyone into that little bottleneck and allowed Gragas to throw all his booze in there and completely destroy the carries.
And by the way, big congratulations to @RiftMaker, who is the winner of the $10 RP. $10 worth of RP. So they won $10 in RP. Probably going to get spent on the new champion, I would think. Lulu, who's getting released on Thursday. So, very cool.
Yeah, you never know. Maybe they don't play support. Still, coolest looking support so far.
Oh, absolutely. Very cool looking support. I'm going to throw us on mute really quickly here, and we are going to get things back up and rolling very, very momentarily. And we will have game number 2 of the semifinals between Team Just the Usual and Team C2 the Virgin and Friends. So we've got that on the way. Make sure to keep it here. That game number 2, is coming up.
ride, diggity top dog. City sweep the parking lot, checking for cop cars. Crawling to the party stocked with models and rock stars. Probably gonna show up first person, they not hard. Scarface in the place, I got the copyright. I'm type legendary, outshine my body type. Archetype rhyme monsoon, ripping a college night. Any off-color location, you got it right. Midnight black is a shade my pen speaks in. Tuesday sessions and then let it to the weekend. Even my every morning bleed into the evening. Black magic sleight of hand clutched and I'm losing. What's it there, but it's there tonight. It's not there.
I returned.